Yep. What I've got in my hand here is what we call Biodynamic Soil Activator, or for short BDSA. This is something I term colloidal humus. What's colloidal humus? Well, we all know what jelly is. If you put a bowl of water out in the sun and a bowl of jelly in the sun, which will evaporate first? This is 70% water in a colloidal state, meaning it's semi-solid. It's also probably about 50% air. It's got more microorganisms than there are people on the planet, and this will regenerate degenerate soils or degraded soils like you wouldn't believe. We only need 70 grams per hectare. It has many functions which we'll talk about later, but I want to show you what you do with it. First you take it, a small amount for a garden, and I pulverize it, and I'm going to stir it for 20 minutes. What I'm doing is I'm building a vortex one way, and then when I build that vortex to the peak, I then stir it the other way. This I do for 20 minutes, and this will activate it. By 18 minutes the water will have most of the oxygen that it can take up dissolved. So I'm bringing order by the vortex, and then as soon as it forms that wonderful vortex, like galaxies of the stars, then I then turn it the other way. As you stir it, it normally gets softer and softer. You get these wonderful laminated layers because of the polar structure of water, and if you like, the information from that biodynamic soil activator is infused into the water, which we then spray out. So this water is actually rainwater, and that's why it's got that stain. But normally if you use town water, you need to let it stand overnight and let the chlorine evaporate during the day. It's actually quite a relaxing thing to do. It's quite meditative. So I start from the centre, work my way to the edge, and get that wonderful vortex. I'm not using a lot of effort, I'm letting my hand flow with the water. Okay, we just, after stirring for 20 minutes, we just get a brush, ideally one with natural bristle, and you always do it in the afternoon, and you want big droplets. 1 drop per square metre is fine, and you just use the wrist to flick the activated biodynamic soil activator. I can't emphasise enough, it should always be in the afternoon. Right, so here we have a wonderful grapefruit, and we can use the activated water for spraying over the leaves and the fruit. That decreases pest attack and also decreases the diseases on the leaf itself, and it tends to improve the fruiting process as well. The biodynamic soil activator has multiple uses. So here we have compost that's just being laid down, and as you layer in the green and the brown layers, you cover it with a good amount of the biodynamic soil activator. That will help bring in a number of diverse organisms which will help decompose that into a wonderful rich humus compost, similar to the compost we have over there. Great for worm farms, definitely composting. We also find that one of the ingredients in the biodynamic soil activator actually increases the worm population 4-fold compared to untreated. Also, when you use it for composting, we tend to retain more of the nutrients, particularly nitrogen, potassium and phosphorus, and the trace elements as well. We get less volatilization, or the nutrients going off into nitrous oxide into the atmosphere, which creates greenhouse gases. And you'll get a wonderful rich compost in time, and it also attracts the worms. They love it. In the afternoon we do it because we don't want this is teeming with life, and we want the microbes in the water to sink into the ground and become active. The other reason is that in the daytime the earth is kind of breathing out, and in the night time it's breathing in. So we're working with the rhythm of the day, and we want these forces to go into the earth, so that's why we do it towards the afternoon. So with the Activator at the end, we can do other things with it. We pour it into a container, all that wonderful active stuff, and then here I have is a handful of peas, organic of course, and then I just soak them overnight. They'll swell up and they're ready to be planted. The good thing about using this as a seed dip is that you get an increased seed strike and less diseases, particularly when the roots start to come out. You'll have less root disease. Also, what's fantastic, when you transplant a plant, it's under plant stress. So what you can do is you get your seedlings and you dip the seedlings into the soil activator, let it sit there for, 5-10 minutes. And in addition, when the rootlets come out, it will coat the rootlets with wonderful microorganisms which are protective. They will forage from the soil nutrients, and it'll also prevent root disease in the actual new seedling. And then you can transplant out, you get a very vigorous, healthy growth. Interestingly, one thing about the Biodynamic Soil Activator, we say it sensitizes the soil to the influences that come particularly from the moon. We know that if we plant, we always, besides spraying out and transplanting towards the afternoon, late evening, before dusk, we can also use the descending moon, because the forces of the plant, the fluid elements are going into the root, which is what you want. So you plant with a descending moon and you spray in the afternoons.